class is going to start a little unusual. Do you have a strap handy? We're going to slip our arms before we start into the strap so that the arms are nice and parallel. You don't go wider than parallel. And I even kind of tucked my strap in like an extra time because what we're going to be doing with it, we don't want it to be flopping around. So you might have to kind of knot it or tuck it a couple of times. But when you raise your arms, you're probably going to run that strap right into the forehead. And that's okay for what we're going to be doing. But like mine are slightly wider than parallel, that's okay. And we're going to sit about the middle of our mat and draw our legs out in front of us. And then take the arms forward. So arms and legs are reaching forward. So I love this strap, you know, we know that our arms are engaged. So we're going to do a couple of things here. We're going to first just draw the shoulders back so that the humerus, the upper arm is just kind of sinking into the socket, and then reach those fingers forward. You should feel like about 3-4 inch difference. So shrug the shoulders back into the socket, but the arms are still parallel to the legs, and then reach the arms forward. So just shrug them back. You should feel this work between your shoulder blades and reach them forward. Maybe just almost like a rowing type of motion with the shoulders, just a couple more times just to get the engagement here. All right, so of course we have a little bit of tension on that strap to keep the strap right where it is, above the elbows. Now draw the toes back behind you, and this is going to be almost Pilates style. We're going to roll on down to our backs. So if you can keep the legs out straight, draw the navel to the spine, slowly lower down. Now if you need a little extra support, you can go ahead and bend the knees and roll down that way. Either way, roll on down to your mat, nice and slow, keeping the arms parallel. And start to reach the arms up overhead, and then maybe lift the arms all the way behind you. You're going to feel that strap rest maybe right on your forehead. Keep the tension on the strap just for a moment. All right, now reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling and bend the elbows. So you're keeping that tension on the strap, and you've created a box. And then lift the shoulders so that, again, you're bringing that forehead, maybe the strap right to your forehead. So you probably won't be able to slip back with that strap in the way, which is fine. And then lift the arms up and fingertips to the ceiling. The same thing we did when we were sitting up. Reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. And you're going to notice that your shoulders kind of came up off the mat, maybe 2-3 inches. And then exhale, draw those shoulders down. Inhale, push up. You can make fists like you're punching the ceiling, and then lower down. And then kind of try to keep the neck long on the mat. You might feel that as you're lifting up, that chin juts up towards the ceiling just a little bit. That's okay. I'm doing it, but you might want to try to keep the neck long. Maybe one more time, punching up at the ceiling. We're using some muscles along our sides here called the serratus anteriors. They're kind of fun little muscles that wrap around our rib cage. One more time. Inhale, reach up and lower those shoulders down. All right, create that box again, folding the elbows, hands come to the opposite elbows, and keep your shoulder blades grounded onto the mat and just draw those elbows. keep that tension on that strap and just draw those elbows over to the side. And maybe just see if you can tap this right elbow, if you've gone to the right, down to the mat. And then inhale, come on up. And then draw the opposite elbow down. So keeping that tension on the strap so the strap doesn't slide. One more time. Right elbow taps. Inhale, come on up. And left arm taps and come on up. Perfect. Now we're just going to take this folded ensemble here with the strap and the arms. I'm going to rest the arms on our chest. So this is almost like a little straight jacket feeling here. And then try to draw your shoulders down towards the mat. And just notice your breath here. So you should notice as you take that nice deep inhale that you see the arms just kind of rising. We have a reason for working on these shoulders this morning, and it won't be the entire class, but just wanted to start this way today. So maybe notice, wow, this is just a really confining feeling. And I think every strain in our, every cell in our body is like, oh, this doesn't even feel like yoga because I feel so confined. We typically want to be with our arms loose at our sides. Let me just notice that comparison here. One more breath, full inhale. Full exhale. Now lift those elbows up to the ceiling so that your upper arms are vertical. You're still in your box shape. Bend your knees, excuse me. We're just going to do a little twist here. So the arms go on to the right, and the legs are going to go the opposite side to the left. So you're keeping that tension on the strap. And your neck can go over to the left, so away from the arms if you'd like. And zigzag twist. And then inhale, everything comes to the center. And then exhale, zigzag twist to the other side. One more time each side. Inhale, to the center. Exhale, twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. All right. Now from here, you have a choice. We're going to kind of do a little bit of a sit up, and you can either keep your legs bent and feet planted, and we're just going to see if we can roll up. So you can reach the fingertips up, or you can have the legs straight. And just kind of roll up part way, and then exhale, come down, maybe the forehead. The strap comes to the forehead. And then inhale, come up, just curling up, chest and shoulders, and exhale down. One more core, sit up here. And rolling all the way down, arms are overhead. And it's not the end of the world here. If you let those shoulders go and that strap is right on the forehead, it feels kind of nice just to have a little bit of stretch in the shoulders, and you have that gentle pressure of the strap on top of the forehead. We'll kind of just give that a try. Awesome. All right. Now we're going to keep those arms in the straps. We're almost finished with the strap, but we're going to hug the knees into our chest. We're going to start rolling here. So chin to the chest, so your back is rounded. And you're just kind of clutching your hands to either the calves or behind the thighs. And of course, you're keeping a little bit of stretch onto that strap. Side in the back. It's rolling like a ball. All right, now when you're ready, You're going to roll all the way over, take your hands to the floor, and back up to hands and knees. So what's great about this strap is we should be perfectly shoulder width apart. Arms are still parallel. Strap is still at that upper arm just above the elbow. Cat cow. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart. Exhale. Cat pose. Little extra emphasis with the arms. So pushing into the mat, tucking the chin to the chest for cat. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the heart, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Draw the navel to the spine. Drop the chin to the chest. Feel that great stretch between the shoulder blades. Last time. Inhale to cow. Now exhale, draw the hips back to the heels and just stretch your arms forward. Now what I love about this is, you know how a lot of times we bring the forehead down to the mat? Sometimes it's hard to reach. So now we can keep that tension on the strap, and you can rest your forehead, almost like a hammock effect. Rest your forehead right on that strap. Doesn't that feel wonderful? Take a couple breaths here. Of course, you need to keep enough energy. This is isometric energy in the shoulders to keep this strap just somewhat taut. Notice that nice neutral position of your neck. Elbows, of course, are lifted off the mat. Fingers are spread wide. All right, next inhale. Come on up to hands and knees. This is the last pose we're going to do with that strap. So we're going to drop down to our forearms. So isn't this lovely? We're keeping those upper arms parallel. Go ahead and clasp your hands together. Press the forearms into the mat. Tuck your toes under. Lift your hips up for dolphin pose. So your head just hangs. And if you want, again, you can just let that forehead rest on the strap. Maybe walk the toes in a little closer to you, stocking the hips up a little higher. Nice strengthening for the shoulders. And then go ahead and drop the knees down. Take your hips back to child's pose. If you want, you can keep the hands clasped. And you're going to go ahead and just bend the elbows. Bring the hands back behind your neck. Take a couple breaths here. And finally, we're going to go ahead and slip that strap off of our arms. And you can get rid of it for now and come into just your child's pose. Perhaps your forehead can melt all the way down to the mat. If it doesn't quite make it, you can stack the hands underneath the forehead. Take a couple nice breaths here. All right, inhale, come on up to hands and knees. Step your right foot forward. Just a nice little low lunge. Now we don't have that strap on our arms, but we have that muscle memory of keeping those arms parallel. So start to stretch the fingertips forward and then all the way up overhead. So of course, if we had that strap we would have that strap right at our forehead. So maybe you can just reach those arms back just a little bit more so that the upper arms are right next to the ears. Gaze can be forward, or maybe you take the gaze up. Keep stretching the fingertips up. All right, exhale, arms come on down, step back, hands and knees, and we'll switch sides. Left foot forward, coming into that low lunge. Of course, take care of the back knee. Reach the arms forward. So just a lot of focus here on what the arms are doing. Usually our focus is on where our feet are and keeping our balance. We don't have enough energy to think about what those arms are doing. And maybe look up. All right, exhale, hands come down. Step back, hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Make your way to downward facing dog. So slight bend to the knees here. And whatever you would like to do, maybe bending one knee and straightening the other. So I don't know about you guys, but a lot of times in down dog, I feel that my arms are just very connected to my pose. And it's almost that confining feeling, almost like when we had that strap. And that's just because we are engaging all of those muscles in the torso. So between the shoulder blades, to draw those shoulders into their sockets. The arms are just about parallel here. If we had that strap at the upper arms, our forehead would be resting right onto that strap. Root the hips back and away. One more breath here. And look up to your hands and take as many steps as you need. So little railroad track steps. Knees are slightly bent, and we're just going to hang here like a rag doll. And if you want, you can take your hands to that opposite elbows and creating that box shape like we did earlier, maybe just a gentle little sway. All this focus on the upper arms. Let's not forget the neck. So maybe you shake the head yes, shake the head no, and no more straps. Maybe yes straps, no straps. Take a vote here. All right, inhale, come on up halfway. So maybe your hands come to the top of your shins. Feel that engagement between the shoulder blades. Gaze is down at the floor. Your arms are actually active here, and this is to support that low back. Again, if we had that strap in place, we would feel that connectiveness, yeah? All right, exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Let's reach those arms all the way up overhead. Parallel the arms, gaze up. And exhale, draw the arms down, hands at the heart space. Just pausing here in our Anjali Mudra. Trying to lower the shoulders from the ears. Tuning into your breath. And let's just go ahead and release the hands, maybe wave them out to the side a little bit. So I don't know about you guys, but we're going to feel that in the triceps Maybe this is the serratus anterior, these muscles right here on the side flanks. We might feel that a little bit later on. All right, inhale, reach those shoulders up to the ears, and exhale, loop them down and back. And inhale up, and exhale back. A couple times. Should feel good. And reach those arms out to a T. Now, energy out through the fingertips, but don't let those shoulders scrunch up. So lengthen through the fingertips and drop the shoulders away from your ears. And then let's take one arm across the body, hook it with the other arm for that tricep stretch. Don't allow your body to twist here. So you want to keep knees, hips, shoulders facing one direction. And then inhale, open up wide. See how freeing that is. And then take the other arm across the chest. It's really tempting to twist, but again, try to keep everything facing forward. And you should just get that lovely stretch into the triceps, just where we need it. Beautiful. All right, go ahead and release the arms. Coming into mountain pose. So energy out the fingertips. Draw the shoulders down your back. Lift the knees. So you can lift all 10 toes here. Feel that engagement in the thighs. Draw the navel to the spine. And then slowly set those feet back down to the mat. So very active mountain pose. Not just a time to pause, but a time to still be active. Notice your breath. Beautiful. Inhale, reach up. Maybe arms just come to parallel. Exhale, swan dive over. Let all that breath out. Tension from the neck and the head. Inhale to your half lift, lengthening the spine. Exhale, folding. And on your next inhale, root to rise. We're coming all the way back up. Arms lower to the heart space. We're going to do 2 more sun breaths, and I'm going to say less and less. So just follow your own breath as much as possible. Inhale, reach. Exhale over. Your next inhale to the half lift. And you will all meet hands at the heart space. One more sun breath. Inhale, reach. Exhale over. Lengthening the back, engaging the core. Bowing over the legs. Inhale all the way up. Hands come to the top of the mountain. Exhale. Onto mudra. All right. Let's just take one giant step back with our right foot. And then angle that right foot 45 degrees. So we're coming into our warrior 1 legs. And go ahead and reach those arms up overhead. Parallel the arms. See if you can find that connection, almost as if we had that strap in place. Drop the shoulders into their sockets. Lengthen through the fingertips. Take one more breath here. And then we're going to pivot open to the right for warrior 2. Now we're dropping those arms to a T. You can look at your feet, make sure that they're heel to heel alignment. Gazes over your left fingertips. Flip that left palm up and coming into reverse warrior. Right hand comes down towards the calf. Keep reaching and stretching that left arm. Next inhale, come on back to your warrior two. Perfect. And then we're going to go ahead and cartwheel the hands down to the mat. So just pause here in your lunge. Make sure you flatten the palms down to the mat. It's always nice to have those blocks nearby. If you need to reach the floor, it's just a way to bring the floor up a little higher to you. Just an option. If you can reach without the blocks, then you can go ahead and do that. Set that plank, and you can lower those knees. Okay, so now plank, it's kind of the same alignment with those arms, that nice parallel shape. Engage the core so that your belly's not sagging to the ground. And then hug those elbows into your sides. Go ahead and lower all the way down to the belly. And then we're going to inhale. We're going to come up, slide those forearms forward for Sphinx pose. So again, we don't have the strap, but this is that parallel alignment of the upper arms. Take your left hand over to that right elbow. Bend that right knee. Reach back, right hand towards the foot. It doesn't matter if you don't reach the foot. Maybe you reach the pant leg. It's always nice to do. And then draw both hip bones down towards the mat. And if you have a little extra room here, you start to bring the heel towards the sitting bone. Make sure that heel doesn't go wide of your sitting bone. Half frog pose. Exhale, release. Let's go ahead and lay all the way down. Turn your cheek one way or the other. And drape your arms alongside of your hips. And just let go here. So letting the shoulders melt down towards the mat. Notice that breath. If you want, you can just wiggle the hips just a little bit to release any tension in the low back. And then we're going to come back up to our forearms. Sphinx pose. So we don't want to hunch down like this. This is super comfortable, but we want to engage those arms, press the tops of the feet, the thighs into the mat, reach through the crown of the head. Right hand reaches across your mat to your left elbow. Bend your left knee and see if you can reach back, left hand to left foot. And stay lifted with the chest. And maybe just an option to draw that foot a little closer toward your sitting bone. Half frog. Go ahead and release all the way back down. Turn your cheek the other way. You can wiggle the hips again, or perhaps bend the knees and just windshield wipe the shins from side to side. Alrighty. Hands come alongside of the chest. Squeeze the elbows in towards your rib cage. Maybe you back the hands up a little bit so that they're just kind of right at the rib cage and that your elbows are creating about a 90-degree angle. Tuck your toes under and take the hips all the way back to down dog. See if you can feel the engagement in those upper arms. Just one more thing to think about when we're in our down dog. Maybe let go of all those expectations of where the knees should be, where the shoulders and hands should be, and just bring your awareness to your breath. Look up to your hands. Take as many steps forward to your forward hold. And again, we're just going to hang here like ragdoll. So ideally, keeping a little bit of bend in the knee, chest comes towards the thighs. You can make that box shape with the arms away here if you'd like. Breathe. And then come on up halfway. Exhale, bow. Inhale, root to rise. We're going to come all the way back up to standing. Palms meet overhead. Draw those arms down to the heart space. All right. So we're going to take the opposite left foot back for warrior one. 2 track lines with the legs. That left foot is angled 45 degrees. Reach the arms up overhead. So maybe first is that little focus on the foundation of where your feet are, and then bring your attention to where the alignment of your arms are, where that energy is going. Draw the navel to the spine, energy out through the fingertips. And inhale, lift that left heel, pivot open to the left for warrior two. You're dropping the arms down to a T. You're equally reaching through both hands, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Lifting that right palm up, reach it up towards the sky or the ceiling for reverse warrior. Left hand is reaching down towards the calf. That right knee stays right over the ankle. Next inhale. Come on up. Warrior two. Gazes over the right middle finger. Cartwheel the hands down to the mat. Again, just pausing here in your lunge. Rooting through that back left heel. Fingertips are either light to the mat. We're going to start to plant those hands. If you can reach, great. If you can't reach, again, those 2 blocks come in handy. Step back plank. Lower the knees, low plank. And then lower all the way down to the belly, chaturanga. And let's take our arms out to a T. Maybe the forehead comes right down to the mat. So kind of keeping the neck in neutral here for a minute. Lengthen through the fingertips. Feel that nice long stretch into the shoulders. Now, this is very much of a stretch on the arms, but go ahead and turn your face to the right. Take your right hand and set it right in front of your face so that your right elbow is bent at 90 degrees. You're going to start to just push. You're starting to come sideline, and you're kind of just feeling all the feels in that left shoulder. So go really slow. Just go to that point of stretch in that left shoulder. Might be different on each side. Go ahead and lower. And then reach both arms out to a T again. And then turn your gaze to the left arm. So left hand goes right in front of the face. The elbow is bent at 90 degrees. You're very slowly rolling towards being on your side. So it just kind of depends on how much stretch you can take into that right shoulder. Really stretches the shoulder capsule. Go really slow. And then slowly lower down. Hands come to the chest. So it's the mat. Elbows 90 degrees. Hug the elbows in towards your body. Let's tuck our toes under. Now from here, we're going to try to muscle our way up to plank. If the full plank's not happening, the knees can stay dipped down. No worries. All right, slight bend of the knees, root the hips back. Find your down dog. See how much connection you can still find in those upper arms. Taking the focus off those knees just a little bit and the hamstrings by giving just a little bit of bend to the knees, rooting the hips back. Next inhale, look up to your hands and take as many steps as you need to come forward, back to your forward fold. Take as much time as you need here to hang. And then coming up halfway, extending the spine from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Exhale, hinge and fold forward. And inhale, root to rise. We're going to come all the way up top. Awesome. Okay, so reaching those arms up parallel, go ahead and take the left hand over to the right wrist. Give a little tug here. So you're almost kind of pulling that shoulder out of its socket just slightly. And then you're going to side bend. So we're really stretching into the shoulder, into all those rib muscles, the serratus anterior that we were using earlier. Inhale, come on up. Switch your grip. Side bend over. Should feel great. Inhale, come on up. And exhale, just let all your breath out. Swan dive over. Inhale, come on up halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. All the way up to standing, palms meet overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart space. All right. So for balance, we're going to do tree pose. Option to grab that strap again. And you can use the strap in any capacity that you want. Maybe at the forearms, to buckle off to the side for the arms to be nice and engaged overhead. Or maybe you just grip the strap between the hands at whatever shoulder width is comfortable to you. So whatever your choice is here. So here you want your arms directly overhead. So that strap is right over your head. So whether it's at your forearm level or in your hands, put that little tension on the strap. It's almost like you're pulling that strap apart. All right, now bring your attention back down to your feet. Root down through the feet. Last thing, engage the core. Draw the navel into the spine. When you're ready, just free one foot up and slide it up as far as you can. We can't reach down and grab that foot. So we're just using all of our muscle energy to set it right where it belongs, wherever that may be. Couple breaths here. And then slowly slide that foot right back down to the mat. And okay, we still feel that in the shoulders. So go ahead and drop that strap down. Just kind of roll the shoulders out a bit. You can march in place if you want, just to kind of move the legs. Perfect. All right, other side. Reach the strap up overhead. Draw the navel to the spine, switching sides. Might be different on this side, how far you can come up and still balance. You want to keep the toes down to the mat and just rest the heel right on the ankle. That's totally fine as well. It's still a great tree. Notice the core engagement, whole body engagement. And take that foot back down to the earth. Lower the arms. Circle the shoulders. Perfect. All right, and go ahead and take that strap off to the side. All right, so we're going to do a Qigong movement here, and this should be feeling really freeing after all our confinement with the strap. So feet are just comfortably, maybe a little more than hip width apart. Put a slight bend into the knees. Knees, hips, and toes are all facing forward. Arms are heavy, and just start to sway here. Really freeing, really loose with the shoulders and the arms. Arms are heavy. Maybe just kind of swing a little faster. Keep the arms heavy. If you want a little bit more energy, you can make fists with your hands. Let those fists just kind of tap you right there at the upper shoulder, chi centers. Cooling the body off. Balancing the energy. And slowing this down. Perfect. All right. Just make your way down to hands and knees. We're going to work on a little bit of twisting the thread the needle type. So those hands are right underneath the shoulders to begin with. Spread the fingers wide. Inhale, take that right arm up. And on your exhale, thread it through underneath. And just kind of dip the shoulder down towards the mat as far as it'll go. Take your time getting there. Maybe rest the head. So there's no weight or pressure on the neck or the head. Stay here. You can keep that hand down for support, or you can lift it up. Make sure you check in with your neck. And then carefully, we're going to unwind and reach that right arm up. And exhale, come on down to the mat. So switching sides from hands and knees. Inhale, reach that left arm up. And exhale, thread it through. So you're reaching through as far as you can, drawing the shoulder, lowering down towards the mat. Maybe just the temple rest to the mat. Absolutely no pressure on the neck or the head. I sometimes just like to keep the hand grounded here for support and just take in this twist. It's completely optional to reach the arm up. And then unwinding. Take that left arm back up, twisting open. Freedom of movement. Excellent. All right, come on down to hands and knees. All right, we're going to have a seat about the top edge of our mat, and we're going to bring the soles of our feet together. This is going to be our last little shoulder stretch. So we'll make sure you have plenty of room behind you. Soles of the feet are together, and then we're gonna join our fingers and our thumbs together like a diamond shape, but we're gonna take them back behind us so that you're kind of sitting on those index fingers, so the tip of that diamond. Now the elbows go wide, and very slowly you're going to lower down. So you're using your core, and you're lowering down to the forearms. And if you can, go ahead and lower all the way down. So take note of the stretch in the shoulders. Pinning those arms behind our back. This is internal rotation for the shoulders. It's not something we get a lot of. If this is too intense for anyone, for any reason, bend your knees, plant your feet to the mat, bridge up, and just open those arms out to the sides. If you're okay with this stretch, just stay here just a few more breaths. It almost should feel like the front of your shoulders are jutting up towards the ceiling. And if you even look at them, you're going to kind of see them kind of raised up off the mat. Bring your awareness to your breath. Very slowly draw the knees together, plant the feet, bridge up, and just release the arms if you haven't already. So we're just going to bring those arms out to a T. And you can keep the knees bent for support, or you can lengthen them on your mat, your choice. And then just maybe turn the palms down. So palms to the floor, and then turn up, palms up to the ceiling, maybe just a couple of times here. If you want, you can bend the elbows like cactus arms, and then you can bring the palms down towards the mat, and then back up towards cactus arms. Just noticing that full shoulder rotation. A lot of shoulder work today. All right, now from here, let's go ahead and hug our knees into our chest and just a little rock side to side. And before we come into Shavasana, if there's one additional pose that you want to do, maybe something not involving the shoulders, you could come into Happy Baby. If you want to still incorporate those shoulders, a good one might be bridge pose. So you might just be really limbered up to lift the hips and reach the hands underneath you to interlace the fingers. And those shoulders should be feeling just wonderful, maybe all stretched out. So whatever pose you choose is the right one for you. And from here, we're going to go ahead and make our way into Shavasana. So lengthening your legs out onto the mat. And just a little wiggle of the shoulder blades underneath you. Maybe take the arms out to the sides here just a little bit. So again, we're just emphasizing now the freedom of those arms, that looseness in the shoulders. And basically just letting go for Shavasana, taking this time for you. It will guide us out in about 4 minutes. Very slowly start to bring movement back into your body. Start anywhere you want. Maybe take a nice long stretch. Maybe just barely move those fingers and toes. Maybe just taking some nice deep breaths. Maybe hugging the knees in towards the chest. And eventually just rolling on to either side. Pausing there. Notice how you feel. Use that top hand to carefully press up to a seated position. Welcome back. Bring your hands to the heart space. Thank you very much for joining me. The light in me honors that same light in each one of you. Namaste.